Yeah, great Zimbabwe walls, great Zimbabwe walls, great Zimbabwe.
These walls were there before Abraham. Yeah, the great walls of Zimbabwe. We have recognized that African story is not just about what's happening in ancient Egypt. There is Zimbabwe and there's Mali, and there's the central, and there's the north, and there's a massive, massive continent called Kemet, Black Land, Ethiopia, Egypt, Africa, same place. Let us liberate our thought processes and realize that Africa is not Egypt. And Africa is not Ethiopia. In the same way, Jamaica is not Kingston. Yes, it is a bigger place. Expansion of thought, liberating consciousness.
Talking about them make some kind of discovery. Iman is the living anthropology. Iman is the living archaeology. Yaga yaga yo, Zimbabwe wall, real Zimbabwe wall, Zimbabwe walls, real Zimbabwe walls, great Zimbabwe walls, great Zimbabwe walls. When they built up the Western archaeologists plan to flood which historical Sudanese land. Afraid of the glory of the Nubian, afraid you will see your connection. Yaga to Zimbabwe. Great Zimbabwe walls, great Zimbabwe walls, great Zimbabwe walls. Yeah. Them talking about them make some kind of discovery. Iman is the living anthropology. Zimbabwe come now stand firm. Yeah, Zimbabwe walls, great Zimbabwe walls, great Zimbabwe walls, great Zimbabwe walls. Corresponding mathematical, elliptical constants in Egypt, Aksum, Zimbabwe and Mexico. Hey, African botanical strains of cotton and corn in America, and you know, yeah, we can trace our steps through botany and etymology. You can't hide the truth forever from me. Can't hide the truth forever from me. Yeah, where me mess what is revealing is only right and true. We are standing on the soil that made you. Standing on the soil that made you. Standing on the soil that made you. Yeah, are you standing? Yaga yo, yaga yaga ya. Zimbabwe won. Great Zimbabwe.
Yeah, this is a tune by Midnight. Great Zimbabwe Walls. European white man, them go there and call them ruins. Right? Thousands of years of science and physics. Yes, still don't understand how I could move rocks and get them to such high levels in such precise ways. What kind of technology? I am saying we use rays. We know how to use rays, ray technology, gamma rays and X-rays and all the various rays that emit from the sun, because we worship the ray. The almighty ray was the source of all our power. And I am going to suggest that we got the same power from the ray to build and to make those churches out of rock and to move those pyramids and lift those rocks. It's rays we use, gamma rays and all these various powers. We soon recall. So the ancient Africans, which is I and I, within the DNA construction, because it is a memory, and the memory is stored within our melanin. That much we can say is a biological reality. So unless you really wipe out the biological makeup which is the melanin, the African will always be here. So we know this. We know the campaign is on to kill the melanin, but the melanin is here to live. Now, within the anciency of black culture now, I want to just shift a little bit to the history now of the continent itself, the earth history. Because we have Bible history, which is the history projected by writers who were authorized by King James to tell us how the world started, tell us how the world ended and how it restarted, try to tell us where all animals came from and who named the animals. All of these stories configured in one book. So it gives you one version and one view of the history of the world. There is also the scientific perception of the earth, geological and geographic makeup, the land and the water and the fauna and the flora and the vegetation and the trees and the insects. All that is another history now, you know. And that history is not necessarily documented in the one book called the Bible. That history now moves time outside of biblical time. Because biblical time is locked up in the beginning and the end. And we're talking about 6,000 years within the biblical construction of days and so on. But the earth history now moves beyond biblical history. Because it takes the plants thousands of years to do what they do. It takes the fish thousands of years to evolve and to grow to what they are now. Likewise the trees, and it takes thousands of years for the green plants to produce enough oxygen for all of these people to can breathe. So we're talking about earth time, earth history time, separate now from Bible time. And earth history time now takes us into the thousands of years. It takes us into the tens of thousands of years. Earth history time now takes us into the millions of years of the planet. Into the geology now, the history of the rocks, the history of the trees. And I want to ask Adam now, how many of you believe that there were once dinosaurs on this planet? The dinosaurs are the giant birds and reptiles. How many of you really think that those animals did exist at some point in time on this earth history? And if so, what about the dinosaurs that were in Africa? Were there African dinosaurs? And if there were African dinosaurs, where was the African while the dinosaurs were in Africa? And if the dinosaurs are 2-3 million years old, it could also mean that the Africans at that time were also 2-3 million years old. Genesis in trouble. Metamorphosis.
Oh yeah, where them a going so? Oh. Come Africans, let us fight for a right. Fight. We need not fight with guns or even fight with knives. Come Africans, let us all unite. It's the only way to defeat the enemy. Back them a go so. Back them a go so. They stole our land and they stole our gold. They even tried to take our soul. With the help of Jah, we'll push on through. That's the only way I know. Make them a go so. Oh yes. Make them a go so. Oh. Make them a go so. Come Africans, let us fight for a right. We need not fight with guns or even fight with knives. Come Africans, let us all unite. It's the only way to defeat the enemy. Them a go.
So we want to know now, we're asking ourselves and they're asking the question even within the studio here now. Because we grew up under these ideas of dinosaurs, you know. We hear about these giant reptiles and birds, pterodactyls that flew 2 million, 3 million years ago. And that they have relics and fossils. And they have reconstructed some of these dinosaurs. And you know, I begin to look into this thing very seriously now because when they do the local research now on the dinosaurs that them say were in Africa, they do say that there are a few dinosaurs there, you know, during the early Jurassic period. We're talking about 2-3 million years ago. But because the Bible kind of keep us out of these thought processes, we can't even push our mind into those levels of time. We're comfortably now, we're supposed to be able to say, oh, 3 million years easy. But the biblical teaching shut you down. Most people can't say more than 6,000 years because of the Genesis story. And them believing that one day was 24 hours. Confused in the thoughts. But the whole idea of trying to identify these giant birds and lizards, it also made me try to find where is African during this period. Where is African man while the dinosaurs are roaming the land? And I don't think the dinosaurs are here by themselves. I think African man has always been. So, further on into the literature, it goes on to say that the dinosaurs of Africa eventually became extinct, and part of the suggestion towards why is because Africa eventually broke away from South America. So if you look on your maps and look at the African continent and you look at South America, tell me what are the similarities? Because it is suggested that it's the separation now of Africa from South America that formed the South Atlantic Ocean. So there's movement of the land, there's movement by tectonic plates, and things are not always what they were or what we think they are. So we're just looking into African story, African history, and trying to piece together what they have not told us. What we can discern is that there seems to have been a period when they were really giant animals. Maybe the same way that we have giant whales that are in the sea. There were a time when there were giant animals on the land and giant animals in the air. And I'm suggesting that while these things are going on, there is African black man living in Africa. Yeah, we are part of the Earth's history. We didn't come into the Earth history because of our written story. And I've been here for thousands and millions of years, as long as the plants and as long as the dinosaurs have been here. Now we hear that the dinosaurs got wiped out. No one is really able to give us what really caused that great event, that so many of one species would be extinct. But it's good for us to examine where is Africa while the earth is going through its evolution. Where is the African continent? What is happening in Central Africa? What's going on in the Congo? Yeah, what are the ancient pygmy people doing within their own existence? So we look into Africa, we look into Alkebulan, we look into the blackness, and we see if the dinosaurs were there while we were there. And where do black people see themselves relative to the history of the dinosaurs? Is it a European construction? Is it a fiction? We have to determine that. The point is, our history goes beyond 6,000 years. Our history goes into hundreds of thousands of years. It goes into the same age span as the dinosaurs. 2-3 million years ago. We are free to think. Let us think. So you must check it out now. Was Africa and South America once connected? Look at those two land masses. Yes, land moves away, creating ocean. Look at the similarities in culture between the people of Africa and the people of South America. Look how the thing fit in like a jigsaw puzzle. Yeah. Reconstructing, liberating, metamorphosis.
Let them do it, yeah, make them do it. Let them do it, yeah, make them do it. Do it for the Rastafari. Roots and culture. Do it for the Rastafari. Roots and culture. I make we do it, I make we do it. I make we do it, I make we do it. Ready, make we do it. And if you're ready, make we do it. And if you're ready, make we do it. And if you're ready, make we do it. I make we do it, I make we do it. I make we do it, I make we do it. I make we do it for Jah Rastafari.
So how many people can really vision 240 million years ago and they think of black people treading the earth 240 million years ago? Baffling, eh? But the brain has the capacity to think. Yeah, 248 million years ago. Black man treading through the land. Serious thing. We can think. And you know, they tell us that the fastest thing is the speed of light. And I'm saying it is possible that there's something that can move faster than the speed of light. That I'm suggesting is the speed of thought. $200 million years old. African people are 200 million years old. What a revolution in thought. 200 million. And I'm going to try to tell you about 6,000 years old. And 6 days in creation. 200 million years. Yeah, we've been here. And we will always be here. We have the power of imagination. We have the power of creativity. And we have the power of will. We can extend our thoughts. Yeah, we're deconstructing mythologies, we're deconstructing allegories, fables, nursery rhymes, all the various devices of this language called English. Confusing, confounding. Some things are denoting and some things are connoting. But I mean, I tell you, it's also confusing. But within the whole structure of the language, we have to master the various devices in order to communicate clearly and in order to liberate our own thinking from that structure that English forces you to work within. Now, belief systems are given to I and I. We are told what to believe in, and we've been told what not to believe in. And we've been told about rewards, and we've been told about punishment. And we're told that if we believe in certain things, we will be rewarded. And if we believe in certain other things, we will be punished. So I'm going to ask a question now. And it's going to sound like a ridiculous question, of course, you know. But here goes. How many people really believe that there is only one God? Do you believe that there is only one God? Alright, I'll come in with that. So, is the consensus clear? Do you believe that there is only one God? Only one. Because that's a very serious commitment to an ideological position. And it's a radically different position from what enough of I and I within our ancient traditional culture used to hold on to. And again, if we just simply reflect on the Nile Valley culture, the Nile Valley culture was a culture that spoke of a pantheon of gods and goddesses. That the ancient African and Indian cultures always spoke to the gods and the goddesses. The divinities were always masculine and feminine, always male and female. So when and how did we all suddenly become convinced that there was only one God? And that this one God, you must worship with all your heart and all your soul and all your mind. And that this one God, through his son, the entire race of people who are oppressed, particularly African people, shall be saved. This one God concept may be part of the foundation of our enslavement. Yeah, we have to think about all things now, because we shake off a whole heap of things already, you know. We are shaking up a whole heap of the things that have been deceptive. But this is the point where I think everybody is still locked into. This notion of a supreme being. And that there must be a supreme being. And that this supreme being is there's only one. And there can be no other but one. We have lost the consciousness of the many. And we're locked into not only one, but we're locked into a male structure, a male one. A one white male framework. And I have lost our way by locking into this monogamy, monotheistic framework. Authorized and organized by the same teaching that came out of the Mosaic tradition. So it carries us forward into our own story. That the monotheistic philosophy is an enslaving philosophy. Because you're locked into this one God that you must give all service to. And if you don't, the one God get vexed and angry. And we understand cultures before the one God was created, and the original creator of the one God was an African, not Moses. The original creator of the one God concept was an African king, a pharaoh, under whom Moses was a simple disciple. Pharaoh Akhenaten is the founder of the philosophy of the one God called the atom. And the one God concept constructed by the Pharaoh was not a God of wrath. And the one God created by the ancient Egyptian was not a God of jealousy. This one God was a God of mercy, a God of charity, and a God of truth. The Mosaic one God has become a jealous, envious, wicked type of character. And that is what I and I must liberate ourselves from, mentally, psychologically, and spiritually. It is this monotheistic philosophy that keep I and I enslaved. And as educated as we become, and as cultural as we become, everybody will learn to Father. Everybody will learn to Father God. Nobody owes on to the mother. Nobody calls some mother God. Everybody will learn to Father God. And the Most High is always the Father. And we're always giving thanks to the Father. Until we begin to shake off this piece of chain that ties our meditation to this one God. The many will not flow, and we're going to remain poor. We will remain broke. Yeah, we're not going to get no money until we free up the feminine energy and liberate ourselves from this one God. Meditation.
False pretender. Stop pretending. I hope you receive the love I'm sending. Watch this.
Ain't no use pretending you don't feel the way I do.
Check it.
In this message that your body's sending, I can tell you want it to. But do you wanna hide the way you feel inside? It's too late to turn back now. Every little touch, it means so much. So girl, just let me show you out. Your body can't lie to me, 'cause I know just what you need. And your body can't lie to me. So bring me the central healing.
So the preacher man now has been convinced to convince his own people that there is this one God. And he himself goes around telling you that you must believe in the one God. Not only must you believe in the one God, you better believe in his Son. Because if you don't believe in the Son, you can't get to the one Father. So the Father and Son thing set up. And I as the people now, we can't get to the Father unless we go through the Son. So you see the system set up now more complicated, that you have to have the right phone line. And you have to have enough credit. And you can't go directly now, you have to go through the preacher first. Because him is the only one who have the credit. We can talk to the Father. So it become a system of control. And this Father now is represented by this one God. No femininity, no female principle, no niceness, no sexiness, no sexuality. Just man, male, men behavior. it is crucial that we think out of this one God concept. We must return to the many. We must return to the polytheistic way of thinking, where we respect divine forces of nature. So the collection money now will no longer be centralized into this one God church. Because it's really the way of collecting money, you know. Everything is centralized. When Akhenaten developed the concept of one God in ancient Egypt, it mashed up the church business because of the several gods that were already there. Each God and each religion had its own treasury. And what Akhenaten done was really consolidate the money. And all of the money that used to go to the various temples for the different gods, all of it now came to Amen. So it's also a political, economic move when you unite the people up under this thing called one God. But we find that the one God's concept is problematic, because when we see war, like what's happening in Palestine and Israel, and we see the airline being shot down out of the sky, all those people just blown to smithereens, their souls can go nowhere. It makes one question the whole nature of this one God who sits above and realizes that the plane was going through a war zone, and knowing all things in advance, should have known that the people would have been dead before them even leave them house in the Netherlands. Should have known that the plane would have been shot down if this one God knows all and sees all things before they happen. Otherwise, it's just an illusion. And if that's an illusion, then all power rests in the brain of man. And it's man who is responsible for the things that happen to man.
I was seduced to reduce my knowledge, because I will always break those barriers and burn down bondage. Oh Lord God Almighty, grant me all privilege. You see, I have to overcome all the wicked, them and them false things. I have no white God, don't teach me anything wrong. Who the white God save me from white man oppression? I have no white God, it's just a black messiah. A white God that bless, so him not blesses. I have no white God, don't teach me anything wrong. Who the white God save me from white man oppression? I have no white God, it's just a black messiah. If a white God that bless, so him not bless. I want what is rightful mine, so me not stay mute. Your system is designed to distract me from the truth, but it will come to pass. Unknown unto the youth. In the process of time, we will know the truth. To give we white God to place in slavery. The doctrine follow on in the black community. The black messiah you try to shield with fantasy, but we not gonna make you destroy the love with luxury. That's why you have to touch home. I have no place in Babylon. As I go, they make me victim of their unjust action. Oh God, I won't be conquered in this region. Oh yes, I have to stand and go strong. Don't tell me of your white God, don't teach me anything wrong. Who the white God save me from white man oppress? I am no white God, it's just a black messiah. White God that bless you, him not bless. Oh, me face contact with anger, can't start no right. Oh, good all things good and valuable must be white. So what about the black that did the most in life? You want your white supremacy, watching me as you change the version of the Bible. Oh, you watch it, remember I know do evil won't go unpunished. Bear your iniquity, you have no wisdom or wit. All evilous people shall sink in I am no white God, don't teach
Now,
me.
a lot of people, when you tell them about the one God that them believing in, when you ask them what the one God look like, them say them can't tell you. Them say them don't know what the one God look like. You say, what is the imagination? What image comes to the imagination when you think of one God? And you have to be honest with thyself now, you know. Because you can't play a trick with thyself. You can't tell anybody anything. But you can't trick thy own self. So I'm asking the eye them now. What image comes to the eye imagination? Pictorially. when you think of one God? When you say a puff of smoke, can't you say a puff of smoke come to your mind? Or the electrical charge? What comes to the eye mind when you think of one God? Nothing at all. Just a kind of blank. So it's a kind of nothingness. And so when man tries to visualize now what this one God look like, he can only look at it through the lens of his own self, which is man. So the African now who has been programmed into this one God belief, I've also been told that this one God has a son. And so you can't see the God, but you can see his son. But the consciousness tells you that the son is supposed to come from something that the father look like. Even if him don't say it directly, the unconscious mind knows that the son is a product of a father. So if the son come out pink, the brain automatically assumes that the father is pink. It's a kind of logical way of thinking, you know. In these terms now, when we talk about human beings and races, if a son comes out looking Chinese, there's a great possibility that somewhere along the line between the father and the mother, somebody there is Chinese. I think that's how it works. One of the parents them would have to be carrying that characteristic, that identity, racial identity. So when African people now and black people see the Son of God, we don't lock into the one God belief already. But there is no image of that one God because the ancient gods, the ancient Egyptians, use the symbol of the sun to represent the one God because the sun really is a source and physical manifestation of life. So the ancient Egyptians used the sun as a symbol of the one God. The Europeans capture us now, tell us that there's a one God, but this one God now, we must respect this one God through the sun. And the sun now looks like the slave owner. The sun looks like a character who comes out of Europe. The sun has blue eyes. The sun has a long blonde hair. And the son has pale skin. And it is the father of this son now that I and I must uphold as my salvation and my savior and my maker. And I'm saying to the item, we have to stop and think. Because for too long now we've been holding on to this connection. And we're not taking us any closer to ourselves. So we can shake off that baggage if we can see clearly the problem created by this father-son duo. It's like if you imbibe too much Ray and nephew, you become too filled with the spirit and you lose your black consciousness. Metamorphosis.
I'm moving up. I got the children that I'm moving up. I'm moving up. I got the children that I'm moving up. I'm moving up. I got the children that I'm moving up. I'm moving up. I got the children that I'm moving up. Let's sing a happy song, children, children. Give your thanks and praise, yeah. We've been down for so long, children. It's time to change your ways. How good and how pleasant it is for I and I to dwell as one. Yeah, join hands and hearts together and make us strong. No matter what they say, no matter what they do, move it up, make together. Jaja children, them are moving up. I'm moving up, make together. Jaja children, them are moving up. I'm moving up, make together. Jaja children, them are moving up. I'm moving up, make together. Jaja children, them are moving up.
Still trying to work through this one God concept that has been imposed upon I and meditation. And deep within our cultural feelings is always a need for female companionship as a male. So the one God concept to Iman have to have a duality to it. Must be a duality to the one God. And the duality must have the both principles of creation, the male and the female. So the one God concept in the reality of the African now must be the male and the female principled in unity. And when the male and the female principle come together, we can call that the one God. And within that unity now we don't need any son. But we have an offspring, a child. And so the ancient Egyptians recognized the mother, the father, and the child. The original Trinity. So the one God cannot be a male alone. The one God concept to be practical and useful within African tradition must be the duality of the male and the female. And once they come together, we can say that yes, that is the one God. And if you reread even the scripture, the same Genesis story of let us make man in their image and in their likeness, it is not a one God that is speaking. It is not a single God. It is a duality. It is a foundation of African identity and consciousness. It is a pair. And so once we begin to connect back with that duality of gender, male and female, and we move it from just the practical to the cosmic, and then I think the I and I will be on the road to recovery. Because we have to recover our gods and our goddesses. Give thanks for the link, D. See you on the text. In abundance of water, the food is thirsty. Give thanks for the link. So what we want to resurrect out of this segment is the power of the one God. And the one God is being redefined as a male and female principle. It is the us that is the one God. So when a black man and a black woman are tried as us, then we can say yes, them reach a state of the one God. Metamorphosis. So every pair of African people, every pair is a one God. Yeah, so that's why the whole race is a race of gods. Yeah, because the male and the female in combination is one God. So when we multiply that activity, we have a race of gods and goddesses. I saw it set up from that time. We are in the process of reconstructing in this time.
Every step Rasta take, no careful. A Babylon try to. I don't know what to say. The monkey won't do. Guilty or no guilty. Babylon, you going to pay for what you did to my
So it appears as if this Christian concept of one God is a deception. It's a promoting lies and illusions. Because the same as we introduced to this Christian one God, we are told about this biblical story in the garden. And then when you look into the story carefully, it is a Christian one God who tells the first lie. Yeah, the first lie is told by the Christian God, telling the creation called Eve that it will suffer. Telling Adam that he will die if he eats of the cannabis sativa plant. That was in the tree. That was the tree with the knowledge in it. First lie was told by the Christian God. And the lie was corrected by Satan, who told the woman that is like Lord God I tell you. If you eat of that fruit, you shall not die, but your eyes shall be open and you shall have eternal life and be like the gods. So this Christian one God that we have been given has been a liar from the day one. And so that's why maybe perhaps today people just tell lies without thinking. It's easy. A man look if he's going to tell you a lie. Him don't even blink. When she tell you a lie, she don't even blink. She just tell you a straight lie. And we lie so easily because the Christian God also is the foundation of lying. We are a people coming out of truth. And we know about math. We know about the ancient gods and goddesses. Thoth, the God of righteousness, the God of writing. So we have to be careful how we internalize or how we find a way now to eject these lies out of our system. We have even been told that there are black lies and that there are white lies. And of course the white lies are small. The white lies we hear, you can tell them for the benefit of somebody. So that's a white lie. But if you tell a lie that causes somebody pain and grief and suffering, that lie is a black lie. So you can imagine in the dimension of lies, you have black lies and white lies. Does that mean that there are black truths and white truths? Yeah, you tell me. Metamorphosis. What's going on? This is the Afrocentric views on news on the Metamorphosis. And what's going on is that the world is in a crisis. As usual, it's all about ebb and flow. And this particular conflict I want to speak to now has its own ebb and flow. Rise and fall, and it's in the news, and then it's out of the news. And there's war and peace, and it make Iman wonder if there's any end to this cycle. And if the cycle is going to be brought to an end, we have a proper understanding of how the thing began. There's only way to arrive at a way to end the thing consciously, you know. It's by getting a greater understanding of how the thing start. And then from that position now we can find a better way to bring it to a conclusion. But this thing started a long time ago, as I said earlier, and it was really maximized through the exodus of the Jews and the formation of this state called Israel. And in the formation of this state, by 1972, there were 600,000 Jews who had joined the exodus from Arab and Muslim countries. So there's a conspiracy to control this piece of land that the Palestinians have, and the powers that control the world resources decided that these people had to have a home, and irrespective of whether people were living there or not, they decided that this is the place where these people should live. Now, the resistance to occupation by the Palestinians is justified. And the Palestinians feel as though, as the reality dictates, the Israelis have been expanding through a process that they call settlements. They have been creating more settlements, and they've been taking away more and more of the people in land. There was a war with Israel, there's a war with Egypt, a 6-day war. And these people have been slowly but surely pushing the Palestinians to the point of extinction. And the Palestinians have no backative because the Israelis have military weapons, they have nuclear weapons. They're the only state in that region that is being permitted to have these type of weapons. And you wonder now about, again, where is this divine force that is above? It doesn't seem to intervene in certain activities. But we are told to be fearful of what we do, because if we become rebellious and rise up as black people now, this force is going to act up against us. So there's a place now called Gaza. And in Gaza, the Palestinians call it their homeland. They have a government led by Hamas, called Hamas. Hamas has been declared as a terrorist group by the Israelis. This is a group that represents the people of Gaza now. And so this conflict, rise and fall, and there's a situation now at hand wherein the Israelis must decide whether they're going to go in and reoccupy this place. They've occupied it before for a number of years. And the whole idea of having two states parallel to each other, there's a great difficulty in manifesting these two states, because the Palestinians must have a state. And the Israelis are claiming that the Palestinians cannot be a state because they have vowed to wipe Israel off the earth. This is a kind of silly rhetoric. Where must the Palestinians go? We hear now that there is natural gas along the Gaza Strip, and the Israelis have an interest in that. And there is really no end to this war. Hundreds of Palestinians have died. And every time they declare a peace, both sides arm themselves, and then they begin to war again against each other. I really don't know how this will ever come to a conclusion. The only political way that the Europeans will construct maybe is to introduce the Pope. And the Pope will go there and be the great peacemaker. And the world will bow to the Pope. And I don't know if that is really how it's going to work out. But this is a very rough thing to look at. Hospitals are being bombed. Schools are being bombed. And the Israelis are accusing the Palestinians of hiding their rockets in these highly populated areas. We don't know the reality of that. But, yeah, brethren, make Iman question all these good divine things about you know, divine plans and who knows what will happen before. I think all these things are being directed by men. Men who have their fingers on guns and bombs. In the same way the airplane was shot down, people going about their own business, flying 30,000 feet above, all of a sudden they're no longer there, wiped out by a missile that they hear that is fired by mistake. What happened to those 290 odd people by mistake? You know, and then there's a struggle now to recover the bodies. The whole thing is so gruesome that I'm becoming more and more convinced that all events are directed by the brain of man on this planet. And there's nothing above that is running anything. It's man and it's meditation. So which God will save the souls of those people who went down in that airplane? Which God will save the souls of those people who were blown out of the sky? We're not even talking about the one that has been missing so far, you know. The one that will disappear with those 200 odd people. 2 Malaysian airlines. One shot down and one disappear. What is the fate of those people and their souls? Do they really have any soul that's going to be judged anywhere, or is just death and life and struggle and power, all being directed by the brain of man? Plane crash in Taiwan, plane crash in Mali, all kind of things going on. Algerian airline goes down in Mali. The whole world is looking shaky and shakier. I said to the idea, you know, when the World Cup done, you know, we're going to see some things. And there's more things to come. And it's the black people must stay alert. Because we seem to be just spectators. It's about time we become proactive, anticipate, and organize. I'm going to talk a little bit later about this thing that happened at Liberty Hall. Yeah. But the world is in a turmoil. The struggle continues, of course, in Russia, where the Ukrainians, who are being supported by the West and America, they are now fighting with the Russians. And, you know, Putin is a virgin who don't seem to be able to back down, will not back down from the Europeans and the Americans. Putin is a man who fight judo, you know, so I'm fit, physically and mentally. And Putin, tell the man, and say he had nothing to do with the shooting down of that airline. And the Americans came out strongly trying to accuse Putin and the Russians. Now they have to backing off, claiming that Russia was not directly responsible. They, what they call, quote unquote, created the conditions, whatever that means. But there's an attempt to invoke war, because war is what makes money for the white man. The selling of weapons, the invention of new drugs is an industry. The military-industrial complex thrives on war. The American president is now a lame duck president in his final stages. He has no more power domestically. And so Obama will now try and leave an impression on the foreign policy. So we watch America now in Obama's last few days. Very, very quick to join into any overseas foray to prove that he is still worthwhile. Them even threatening to take him to court in America for overstepping his boundaries. So he has no more power locally, which means in America, and he will try to flex his power around the globe. So we're going to watch how America going push and prod and provoke to create more struggle that will eventually build their economy. America is a war economy, and America thrives when there is war. Think about the wars that America thrives on. The wars are never in America. But the wars are getting there, and the wars in America are going to be highly racial. And we see that the race war is intensifying because of the killing of black youths. One man wearing a hood, one youth wearing a hood, lose fame life. The next man coming out and part in a fight, lose fame life. Yeah, man. That is the demise of America from inside out. Their own racial struggles. Then, of course, the war that America started up with the Iraqi, it's now been taken over by the group called ISIS. Yes, and they are expanding their powers. And the whole thing is turning out in a way that the Americans could not anticipate. Because you can't oppress a people and their religious culture and think that they are going to just love hamburger and French fries and McDonald's. Ultimately, the foundation of your culture will emerge. It is just the Africans who are awaiting their turn. We must resurrect our own culture. Part of it is shaking off this one God chain. Of course, I want to hail all the persons who are listening to the Metamorphosis, whether you're here, there, or and anywhere. People in Port Antonio, on the hills and the valleys, on the various bays, in the Buff and the Natty and the Tough bays, and all the various coves along the coastline, this northeast section of Jamrock. I also want to hail the people right across the rest of the island. St. Catherine, Mac, Spanish Town. Over there in Montego Bay, across the various places that man lock into Styles FM 96.1, 96.7. And of course, we hail all the people now who are in cyberspace, those who are looking live on the program being streamed on the internet. And we'll also link those who are on the Facebook. I'm not there tonight, but so it go. And all the people who are in the various islands, the Caribbean islands, people in North America, Brooklyn, Bronx, the Queens, and the people in the Bronx specifically, hailing my Bronxite, hail my night nurse. The brethren them, long time I don't hear the man them, D. Vale, and A. Shaw, and C. Gordon. My brethren over there who tell me say them start put snowboard in the ice green and gold. Yeah, ice green and gold are powers, and everybody capitalizing on the vibrations of those colors. So Africans, Europeans, Asians, listen to Styles FM and the Metamorphosis. Give thanks for the powers of the internet.
It is not good to travel today, neither to cross the ocean. Deserts are dry, water thirst kill you. Don't good to travel today, neither to cross the ocean. Deserts so dry, water thirst kill you. Kill you, kill you, kill you. Kill you, kill you. When it wet, it separate. When it down, it cramp your belly. Don't want to see you underground. Don't want to see you underground. The ground, the ground, the ground. Caution, my brother, caution, take it. Black soul, you black astray. So black, so black, so black, so black, so black. I'm proud I'm black. I'm proud I'm black. I'm rejoicing I'm black. Who no black now go black again?
Yeah, who the black can black again? You know, people who have certain aspects about themselves that they consider to be reflecting their beauty. And part of the people's makeup that they attribute beauty to are the eyes. You like eyes, Cassidy? You like the eyes of women? You look into women's eyes, Cassidy? Do eyes appeal to you, or they don't matter how the eyes look? Instead of shaking head means say everything alright. They must like nice. All the colors of the eye too. Other part them want to talk about, you know. What color eyes you like, Cassidy? The brown one them. You work with the blue one them too. Oh no, I hear this now. Honesty is great. Cause you know, it's important to know, because we do have our standards and measurements of beauty. And the eyes, they say, are the windows to the soul. Well, it means your soul in your head then, you know. Yeah, it means your soul in your head, if the eyes are the window to the soul. That means the same place where your brain is, your soul is, but one mix up going in the head, you know. Anyway, the eyes now. You know, say, can't see the same like blue eyes. I go up on the Facebook with they and I see them put a picture of a little black girl with some really, really blue eyes that's sparkling, you know. And the comments was, oh, pretty, beautiful, rare. And I say, oh. And then now I recognize that we have a sort of admiration for eyes that have different colors. So we like blue eyes, we like green eyes. What are the color eyes we usually see now that are called sexy and attractive? But do we call black eyes attractive? Nah. You don't want to see black eyes? Really? The pupil of the eye black, you know. That different of the eyes that, oh, we want to talk about eyelash. We want to talk about eyelid. But I'm going to tell you side them now. You see within the construct of the eye now, black people, we need to know. You see all those various colors, blue and gray, and those are signs of defects, you know. It's a defect in the eye, you know, because the melanin supposed to absorb all of the light and reflect blackness. Once there's no total absorption of light, it means that there's a defect. There's all those who glorifying blue eye and orange eye and want to put all some, what you call it, lens that you put in your eye, contact lens, and I put all different color contact lenses. No one do. Those shades that you see are signs of defect in the melanin. But we have been socialized to glorify things that are really not of us. So all of you loving the blue eye girls, And the green eye girl, them girl the eye not ready. Yeah. Problems. The melanin of the eye also stores memory. Yeah, man, iconic memory. Memory of ancient history. Memory that comes through the genetics. Yeah, we store memory in the melanin of our eye, in the retina. Check ourselves. We are multi-powerful computers. All sort of iconic and sound, all kind of imageries stored in our sound system. So the eyes are also the holding of visual images. So sometimes when we rest, those images will play back. Yeah, the power of the melanin in the eye. Yes, Avenue, this is for you. You know how it go.
Tell her try your best just to make it quick. Home attend to the sick. Cause there must be something she can do. This heart is broken in two. It's a case of emergency. There's a patient by the name of Gregory. Night nurse, only you alone can quench this thirst. My night nurse, oh gosh, oh, the pain is getting worse.
think it's very important to make a little insert about the importance of relationship, male female, not male male or female female, male female, female to male, crucial in reconstructing black civilization. Yeah, we need to have more care and less love. Love seems to be deception. I'm also beginning to wonder whether it's love of yourself is more destructive than caring for yourself. You hear people going around talking about you have to love yourself before you can love anybody else. I am beginning to conclude that people who love themselves can't love nobody else. There is no space. Because in loving themselves, they actually become self-adored and they become sometimes obsessed with their own selves. So self-love, I'm beginning to question. And I'm proposing that we begin to talk about self-care. Because you care for me, then it's okay. I don't want you to love me and then you don't care. And that seems to be what's happening in relations. People talking about they're in love, but they don't really care about each other. They're in love with themselves. And they don't care about others. And in that self-love, they expect to be cared for. So we are re-examine the whole relationship and this love-care thing. And whether it's not more important to care than to love. Because love is deception. You don't sure what the person loves. Is it the sex? Or is it the money? Or a little bit of both? Or is it the status? But you see, if you care, it don't really matter what the status is or what is the situation. Because care is real. Love is a kind of deception until it wears out. Because you get love today and tomorrow is hate. I rather have care today and care tomorrow and care, more care.
Anything is mine, is mine. You should have shown like this time. I wanna take you far away, far away, far away. Only if you say you'll come. All to myself is how I want to have you. Can't see me with nobody else, and I don't know what to do. I see you pass my way each and every day. Could you stop just once is all I'm asking. Cause I can't seem to help myself. There's something about the way you look. Oh, I wish that we could talk. Sit and cuddle in the park, gazing in each other's eyes. Oh no, I wanna take you far away.
Now, what is vital in a relation is the concept of trust. Now, I'm concluding also now that it's about time we put everything on the table. And in these trusting relationships, if the man really, really wants to have a relationship with more than one woman, we say make it two. I man think that should be normal. And likewise, if a woman wants to have a relationship with two men, me think we should normalize that. Yeah, two is better than too many. I think if we settle it down, you know, maybe our more settled society. Yeah, if a man really want to have three, you know, he must have a serious negotiation with those two women first. And likewise, if a woman have two men and she wants to have a third man, them two men, they will have to sit down and go into some serious counseling as to whether this can work. But I think right now a pair will be sufficient. And everybody just declare them pair and just live on. So I can say they can bring out the two of them now. Yeah, man. Everybody bring out them pair and just declare them hand. Say, well, alright. See my two there? See your two there? Who in that, in that, who know in that, in that? I will get some clarity and let's mix up. Because it's going on already, you know. But it's out of control. And there's too much deception. So if you put a little truth to the issue. Yes, so you and Joan and you and Jean. Alright, Joan and Jean. It's Mary, she deal with Robert and Mark. And so it go. And Robert and Mark know says that and them alright with that. I think we could have reconstruct some family systems, even within Black tradition. This is just the utterances of the metamorphosis.
Gazing in each other's eyes all night. I wanna take you far away, far away, far away. To all a different energy, I'm loving how the music sounds. You see the woman, them and them we are brave. Hey, chimney, give me little one drop. Make the bass line roll and catch. I'm in love how the rhythm just a tap. Me, I'm a woman a rock. Give me little one drop. Make the bass line roll and catch. I make we double up and what I buy non-stop. Me love it, me love it. Me love the juggling. All the one foot mother dance. So do no trouble. Yo, never like a face. No me the mugging. Good vibes in the place. No one watching. Long time so when I feel like this, yeah, me like this. The bean well clean, so fresh. Oh yes, so blessed. Here we little one drop. Make the bass line roll non-stop. Me love how the rhythm just a tap. Me I'm a woman a rock. Give me little one drop. The music from Jamaica. I make we double up and all I buy non-stop. Just like the drum and the bass line. You have it to hold you wind up your waistline on it.
Lords of Lords and the Savior. Lords of Lords and the Savior. Lords of Lords and the Savior. Lords of Lords and Savior.
Rastafari continues to be the movement of the resistance culture to things that are alien to Africa. Rastafari has reintroduced the male and the female at the leadership of the divinity in the person owner of His Imperial Majesty and Empress Menen. It is Rastafari who is returning the consciousness to its original state. Of course, Rastafari is a part of the journey. It's not a destination. It's a part of the journey towards the blackness that is within. Now, the Rastafari University now of Higher Life Learning, based in Port Antonio. I had a lecture at the library last week, Thursday. That proved to be fairly successful. This time around now, the JCDC again is pleased to be collaborating with the Rastafari University of Higher Life Learning for a lecture on Thursday, 31st, which will be Emancipation Vigil, the day before Emancipation Day. So it will be a lecture starting at 1 o'clock, 4 hours. We'll have some presenters. The theme will really be emancipation, fact or fiction. There are many amongst I who don't really understand what this emancipation thing is about. while African people remain highly unemployed and without housing and the same conditions at the time when the chains were removed. The Rastafari University will be presenting a series of lectures. This will be lecture number 4, Thursday the 31st in Port Antonio Library, in collaboration with the Jamaica Cultural Commission. So people are being invited to pass by the library, engage in the reasoning. Ras Makanen will be there as Vice Chancellor, Ras Osa Osabora, myself, Ras Jangai, and we'll be presenting our positions on this important milestone in Jamaica's history, emancipation. So we're asking people to tune in and get involved in the expansion of knowledge. Rastafari University of Higher Life Learning. This will be the 4th lecture. These lectures are being taped and they will be available in DVD format shortly, and you'll be able to go to the YouTube site, Rastafari University, UNIBERCITY. Go to the YouTube site, you'll see those lectures. So it's all about building institutions, and I think that the educational institution is a vital one to promote knowledge through research, writing, publications, and the like. The next week, Thursday, 31st, Port Antonio Library. All are invited.
Warning. The Surgeon General warns. Cigarette smoking is dangerous. Dangerous. Hazard to your health. Does that mean anything to you? Them legalize marijuana. Right here in Jamaica, yeah. Them say it cure glaucoma, yeah. I'm a the bush doctor, yeah. So there'll be no more smoking and feeling tense. When I see them I come, I don't have to jump no fence. Legalize marijuana, yeah. Down here in Jamaica,
And I used to dread and terror condemn. Good God of grace, will I have His mercy. I miss the old slave driver. Time is catching up on you, old slave driver. I know your sins, them are on. So carry we go home, and bring we brother east. Well, come on a Rasta man, a Rasta no live on no capture land. Oh you mean? Carry we go home, oh you mean? And if we settle and cease, well, come on a Rasta man, a Rasta no live on no capture land. Well, Lord America a capture land, the whole of Jamaica a capture land. A long time them want drink the Rasta man, like them no know say that man a real African. You think me no member King Ferdinand, and thief in Columbus have a golden plan. They make a wrong turn and end up in Caribbean. One Rasta no side kill no Indian. Turn paradise in a plantation, and bring cross one ship load the African. Now here comes the thief in Queen from England. Now she Cromwell and Henry Martha. Century part of a century full of separation, and after 400 years me send a reparation. I know them want to kill me with the taxation, but I beg you please take me to the motherland. I beg you carry me go home, I bring me brother eat.
and it's a protege, eh?
Yeah,
Chronics are where you stay, eh?
yeah.
way. Yeah. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I just go where the trade wind blows, sending love to my friends and foes. And I suppose I'm pleased to be chilling in the West Indies. To provide all my wants and needs. I got the sunshine, rivers and trees. Green leaves, hey.
When me see Jah, me see a way. Drastically straight from hypocrisy, I say, hey. Every man to them own a philosophy. I live the proper way and then me read a chapter daily. Man, they in a city hungry and no eat. And food they down a country just a drop off of the tree then. You see, say poverty no real then. Is what the reason revealing.
Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I just go where the trade wind blows, sending love to my friends and foes. And I suppose I'm pleased to be chilling in the West Indies. I provide all my wants and needs. I got the sunshine, rivers and trees. Green leaves, yeah.
When the rain hits a pot on the roof, herb just a steam pepper pot on the stew. Life is a dream if you got gratitude. So go tell the regime them can't stop what we do now. Information you think on your own, or else you're a slave to the things that you know. What do you know if you learn every day? So be careful.
Metamorphosis into its final stages. We are working our way into a new day in the middle of the night. What a thing.
Been to so many different places, not knowing just what I find here. I've seen so many different faces, but they always stay so fresh in my mind. Some of them seem so lonely, trying to make it on their own, wondering where to turn to, knowing can't make no blood out of stone. People everywhere, they just want to be free, but they find it so hard to be what they got to be. Gotta be the teachings of their society. Yeah, brother, you got the power to make a change. Sister, you got the power to rearrange. Brother, you got the power to make a change. Sister, you got the power to rearrange. I've been through hard
Yes, I giving thanks to all the people. I just get a little chance to link the Facebook again, and there's enough people were saying things. Kasha Blak, Christina Garden, saying all kind of things. Charles Eels, I can't say what you're saying, but there's enough things. And certainly, the conversation continues. The reasoning will continue. Yes, Kasha Blak said we must focus on the things we have in common, because obviously we have a lot of things that are not in common. And we waste a lot of energy in that direction. Give thanks for another opportunity to connect through this medium, Styles FM. Dr. Iman Blak in studio here with Cassidy. And of late, the TD has come in to rectify the ball game. Yeah, the ball roll. And another match is over. But the game continues. Styles FM, Metamorphosis, Dr. Iman Blak, and the music. Always aiding up the Father, Mother of creation. Him and her, we bless them continually. So, look like it's more time. Uninterrupted, time moves on. All the people think time moving too fast. Peace, people, and prosperity in your family life, in your relations, and in your monetary affairs, because we need big hands. Finance, not enough. Metamorphosis. Iman Blak, out.